a chick, so say goodbye to everything you ever knew before. And I'd understand if you went running out the door. And I'll keep you safe, and no harm will ever come to you, I swear. And I'll kill if they even dare. I'll kill, I swear.
Hi, Your Highness.
I am getting high.
I hope so. You've been battling a bit of a hangover today.
A bit is underrated. I refuse to even do the hair of the dog thing today because
that's pretty extreme. Wait, what's the cat doing?
She's attacking your cords.
Yep.
And now notepad papers.
Oh, she can do that.
She's weird.
Yep.
She brought us a treat.
Yeah. A little baby rabbit. A bunny.
I'm sorry, guys. It's mean and horrible, but I can't keep a cat from doing what a cat does.
We left the house for what?
A day.
10 hours?
Yeah, a day. And we came back to a beheaded bunny in our kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, cat. You're like one of the kids we warn people about.
Entrails strewn about the kitchen floor.
God.
It was a mess.
Well, you guys, welcome to Michigan Murders
Welcome.
Music, where we discuss murders in our gorgeous, gorgeous state of Michigan. And we top it off with a little homegrown music, leaving you with a happy ending and on a good note.
Your Highness, I think I probably should give an explicit content warning before we get too much further.
Yes, Boo, I think that's a fantastic flippin' idea.
Her Highness sometimes says naughty words.
What the fuck are you doing, cat?
Is not suitable for young ears, young listeners. So
Shit, that girl just
if
got
you
her
have
foot down.
youngsters that could perhaps listen to this stuff, then you should keep them away.
Drink alcohol, kids. It's good for you.
See? Yeah, keep your kids away. Also, if your kid brings home a human tooth from the creek she's been playing in, oh boy.
How do you know it's human?
What do? Because you look it up, and then you determine, yes, that's a human tooth.
Oh.
You decide not to tell anyone, not a gosh darn soul.
What if...
Take the tooth, pretend it never happened. What?
What if that kid found more than just the tooth?
Oh.
But didn't tell you about it?
Like a dick bone?
Oh, there's a peener bone?
Yeah.
Ew.
How do you think?
I don't...
You're not...
Oh, that's why they call it a boner.
Yeah. So we just say, it's a weird stone. It's neat, but, nothing to keep. Let's find another creek to play in, okay? We're going to find another creek, a different creek to play in. So,
your kid is fascinated by human teeth, and something might be wrong with her.
Yeah, you should probably get them checked out.
We don't have human teeth finding insurance at all.
Nope.
And that's really creepy if you actually find a human tooth.
Just keep your kids out of the creek and don't let them listen to our stuff.
Yeah.
Do us a favor and share us with a friend.
Share us with a friend. Don't share needles, but share us with a friend or a family member or a coworker. We have some new listeners and Instagram peoples and Facebook peoples. Mike the Wolf, Blood and Barrels. That's a podcast. You guys should listen to it. They're pretty funny.
Cool.
Drina Jovanovich. I'm probably murdered that name.
Well, thank you.
So
I can't pronounce it either.
Spooky Soul Sisters, another podcast.
Nice, thank you.
They are good too.
Soul Sisters.
Like Before, it's a band out of Oklahoma. I wanted to feature them, but
Oklahoma. Never been there.
Oklahoma. I've only seen the play. Pick Dynamic Duo, Plywood Players, and Tia Danovitz.
Thank you, Tia.
Artist and most amazing human. Thanks for listening to us, Tia. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys. You can also follow It's Me, Joni D, on Facebook and Instagram. She is part of our team.
I love that girl.
She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who are we featuring this week, Boot?
We're featuring a band called Michigan Dogman.
We'll tell you more about them for your happy ending at the end.
Yep.
And we are going to, I'm throwing my hand up because I put a literal physical dot on my hand. So
on your
Boot
fingernail.
Could see.
You painted your nails so nicely.
Thanks.
And then
They're
you put
black.
a dot on there. Yeah.
It's right under my fingernail. So we're going to Onoway,
Yep.
Michigan.
Onoway, Michigan.
And it's basically straight east of Petoskey. It's, if you hold up your hand, it's going to be about right under your middle fingernail.
It's
See?
up there a
Can
ways.
you see where it is?
Yes, you're pointing it out quite clearly with your middle finger,
What?
Your Highness.
What am I doing?
Uh-huh.
It's just a fuck you finger.
I know.
So fuck
I know
you
what
very,
it
very
is.
much. Let's start the story,
welcome.
shall we?
We should.
We shall.
Brenton Lee Walker was born on March 10th, 1961.
A.K.A. Cowboy Brent,
Mm-hmm.
MDOC number 4948890.
He was a lifetime Michigan resident with a lengthy criminal history spanning over 30 years.
Good Lord, did he
Yeah.
start at age 15
Oh, he
or
was,
something?
young.
What a wiener.
Starting that.
With three previous felony convictions, 2 fraud charges in 1981, and felony theft in 2004.
Not to mention his 4 misdemeanors, including attempted assault with a dangerous weapon in 1988.
Ooh, I wonder if it was a,
It was a stick,
I was going to say,
a pointed stick.
what did that naked girl hurt herself with today on TV?
A machete.
A machete. Yeah.
Naked girl.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to explain it at all. It seems he would manage to stay out of trouble until July of 2016.
Brenton, 55 years old, was living in his brother's cabin on 80 acres in Millersburg. Millersburg is in the northeast part of the Mitten.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also have to say the use of the word cabin in the story is actually a mobile home trailer.
You know, you can call it what you want.
You can spice it up any way you'd like, but it's a mobile home trailer. It's not a cabin.
It's a mabbin.
Brenton was going through his 4th divorce, and as most divorces go, it wasn't going very well. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about divorces
Yeah, it's never
or
enjoyable.
how many people have had.
It gets easier after the 4th or 5th time.
Like so many northern Michiganders, Brenton enjoyed going to their local watering hole. It's called the Cabin Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't far from Brenton's home, and it was most likely the only bar around for miles.
The cabin is located in Onoway. We mentioned Onoway, right?
Yeah.
You know where it is. Yeah.
It's
You're
right
on
here.
your finger.
See?
On your, that special
it?
finger.
Are you sure you see it?
Yes, I see it. Your
Okay,
Highness.
just making sure.
A super small, safe town with a population of 800.
800 people. Could you imagine that? We have more people in our high school than that.
Ugh. No,
That's
it's
like
crazy.
2 graduating class. That's like a graduating class up here.
This is where he met
This
Heather
is where
Young.
we meet Heather Young,
We all meet her.
mother of 3, and she was from Marshall, Michigan.
That's a long ways away.
That's down by Detroit, isn't it?
Yeah. Ish.
Heather is visiting Onoway with her boyfriend, Terry Gary, to meet Terry's
2
daughter
first names.
and her family for the first time.
After being there for a couple of days, Terry, Heather, and Terry's daughter fought, and Heather was asked to leave.
Not very nice.
No.
Just Terry was like, "Get out, Heather. I'm siding with my daughter. Peace out. You
Yeah.
don't know anybody around here. You're in the middle of the woods. Bye."
Well, she was the problem, apparently. Well, it turns out that someone else
course.
thought that too.
I guess so.
It was last known that Heather was going to fill her gas tank and drive the 300 miles to her home there in Marshall.
I think she was going to her mother's home, actually.
Oh.
And sadly,
Yep.
she never showed up at her mom's home. Thankfully, she was going to her mom's home because somebody knew where she was supposed to be, and she didn't show up. You know what I mean? She didn't.
Yep.
She just wasn't going home to nobody. So she made this phone call saying, "Mom, I'm coming down there.
And
I've had a
didn't
fight,"
show
and she
up.
didn't show up.
So Brenton starts chatting up Heather at the bar.
We learned that as she's leaving town, she sees the cabin and she stops there. This is when she's meeting Brenton. Are you lost right now?
Nope.
number
They
8.
played pool and talked about their exes.
Well, that
You know-
sounds like a great time, doesn't it?
Oh,
Let's talk
You know,
about our exes
poor me.
while we drink.
Yeah.
Although she
Yeah.
did just get in a fight, so she was probably just bitching.
Yep.
That's what we do when we break up. We
Yeah.
bitch. She was still steaming over her recent fight and the breakup with Terry Gary. She was talking about it more and more as they drank.
Brent was known as a kind, charming, likable guy in the area, so it's easy to see how Heather would trust him.
Heather is drunk at this point and mentions to Brenton that she doesn't have anywhere to go. She has nowhere to stay tonight.
He offers her a room at his place where he lives all by himself.
Of course he offered
Yeah,
a
hey,
room.
I have a room for you.
I've got an extra room over here.
Yeah.
So Heather hopped in her car and she followed Brenton to his place in Millersburg, which was about a 15-minute drive.
Later, the bar manager would say she had never seen a stranger leave town with anyone. And it's a small town, so you
Leave
would
the bar with anyone. Yeah.
Everybody knows
Everybody
everything
knows everybody.
about everybody.
Absolutely. After showing Heather her room and bringing her a glass of water, he leaned in and tried to kiss her.
Yeah.
And Heather was not having any of that.
Yep.
Can't blame her.
Yep, she pushed him away.
Quite a bit older.
Yep.
She pushed him away and said she still had feelings for Terry Gary.
Mm-hmm. Being turned down by Heather, this sent Brenton into a rage.
A rage, it might be an understatement.
Yeah, things got out of control pretty quickly.
Heather, never having showed up at her mom's house, put her mom on edge, and she reported her missing. Police learned that Heather had been at the cabin and had left with Brenton the night before.
Brenton states on the first phone call that all they did was have some drinks and talk. He stated it was mostly her talking about her exes. He also mentioned that Heather was afraid and did not want to go back to Terry Gary.
Terry Gary.
Terry was called
Terry Gary.
by detectives, and he was quickly ruled out as a suspect and was never charged.
You want to know why? Because Terry Gary stated that he never touched her. He's not that kind of guy, boo.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Terry Gary says he has 3 tolerances. 1, do it.
Don't hit women.
2,
Don't rape children.
3.
And you don't steal from me.
Those are his tolerances.
0 tolerances.
Plus, he kind of had an alibi. So
Yeah.
they ruled Terry Gary out of the picture.
It didn't take long for detectives to break this case, though. On their second call to Brenton, he complains about having to go through this again.
In fact, he
With
says,
the cops, detectives. Yeah.
I'm not happy with the whole situation, to be honest with you. You know what? I'm hanging up. And he did. And this gives the detectives the motives to go search his home.
Yep. His trailer, his cabin.
They get a warrant for the stabbing cabin.
Right.
That was horrible.
Brenton stands quietly as detective searches home, smoking his cigarettes and drinking his bottled water.
In their search, police found a firearm, a significant amount of blood, and finally, just outside his front door, a fire pit that had buttons from clothing, bits of jewelry, and apparently human bones. And one of the jewelry was a cross necklace that one of her exes had given her. So they knew it was hers. It was identifiable.
Yeah, Brenton, standing there and seeing them discovering this, realizes that it's over. He might as well just fess up to everything.
He
And he does. Yeah.
They cuff him. He's standing there with his cigarettes and his bottle of water, and they cuff him in the front, and he just spews his guts out. He's standing there in his sloppy red shirt, smoking his cigarettes, handcuffed, and he just pukes it out on the cops.
What he says is, it just fucking happened. I snapped. No woman will ever in my life try to do anything like that to me again. She kept talking about her ex-boyfriend's situations and blaming the boyfriend. Blaming the boyfriend.
He also said, and she came in and started doing that right off the bat, and it just triggered something. I didn't plan it. All I did was walk out in the front room straight to the gun, a .22 caliber rifle, got it, shot her in the fucking leg, and she tried to hobble.
Brenton was going to clean up her wound and take her to the med center, he claims, but she made it to her truck and she maced him.
That really pissed him off, and that's when he in his words, shot her in the fucking chest.
Oof.
He knew the shot would kill her.
Yeah, Brenton stated that he then put her bleeding body in the already burning fire pit.
Oh my God. So he shoots her in the leg.
Yeah.
She tries to escape. He shoots her in the chest. I don't know if that actually kills her right away. And then he places her in a fire pit.
Yeah, and left her to burn for 18 hours.
Really hope she was dead.
I hope so,
at
too.
that point. I mean, yeah. So then he leaves her to burn for 18 motherfucking hours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Has he
still
not
pissed
watched any crime shows? We all know that it takes a really hot fire.
Yeah, you can't do it in a fire pit.
We've mentioned it in a previous podcast, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know the exact temperature.
Well, even 1,600 degrees that you cremate things is not hot enough to destroy the bones. The bones are still left. And that's what you get back in a little bag from the crematory.
After the 18 hours, he was still pissed off at Heather the next day. So he took her charred remains off of the fire and he cut her up with a chainsaw.
Hey, what a douche.
Okay, so this makes me think those couldn't have been human bones in the fire pit if he removed, unless they were just like phalanges or something, like finger bones or toe bones.
Oh, some things would burn off quicker than others, without.
So there maybe was some human bones
moisture.
in the
Yeah.
fire pit too? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
His exact words were, I was still pissed off the next day. Took her over there, cut her up with a chainsaw, fucking dumped her like a piece of fucking meat. Because that's what I was treated like. That's what she was treating this other person like. And I don't give a fuck what he was doing. He might have done every bit of that, but where the fuck was your part?
He is a little angsty, isn't he?
He's got some problems.
He's got some issues. I'm thinking probably in all 4 of his marriages, he'd blame the wife for all of the situations.
Yeah, it couldn't possibly be him.
Of course not. They were all blaming him.
He's a very well-adjusted young man.
Oh, so after he dismembers Heather's body, he has everybody up north has a 4-wheeler. If you don't have a 4-wheeler up north, you ain't going anywhere. He's got a 4-wheeler with like this homemade box thing on the back that he would use to put tools
Some sort of weird trailer or something.
Not like a trailer, but
maybe right on the
storage thing. It was right
four-wheel.
on the 4-wheeler. It was like built onto the back of the 4-wheeler, and he placed the body parts in that box thing.
Yep. Took her down one of those infamous Michigan 2-track roads.
Those telephone line roads.
Yeah.
We all
Power
know
lines,
those.
telephone lines, whatever. Yeah.
As kids, you party
Dirt
down
bikes.
those roads.
Go, up and down.
Fuck yes, and that's where he discarded her body.
On August 6, 2016, while cuffed in the back of the police car, he agreed to take the cops to Heather's body.
We hear him on audio talking to the police, telling his story. Detective asks while driving to the next scene what they were going to find.
Brenton replied with, bad. It's not human. I know that.
They asked him what they were going to find, and just calm as day, Brenton said, body parts.
Gross. Brenton said, she came in right away blaming the guy. My wife did that to me, and it wasn't right. It wasn't true. I got the chainsaw, cut her up, wanted her to pay like I paid for what my wife did to me. She's just inside the woods a little bit, and you'll probably smell her, and you'll find the parts, the whole body there, probably 10 or 12 pieces.
Sadly, the officers were brought upon the scene of Heather's scattered, charred body parts. And while they were driving and walking through the scene, Brenton was still going through his story again.
Like I said, I just went through it with my wife. She's lucky she's not around because she's on my list. She was next.
What the fuck? But yet this murder wasn't, I guess it couldn't have been planned because she randomly went into the bar. But
yeah, that was wife number 4, right?
We don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming because
Whatever.
that was the one that was the latest one that,
That's a lot of X's.
I know, that is a lot of X's. Needless to say, he is jailed, but he isn't finished with what he has to say about X's. Not even close to being done yet. This dude isn't.
Uh-huh.
This motherfucker here. Also, I want to say the first, we kind of forgot to say this earlier. When they were searching his house
Yes.
in the first confession, they actually got him on video. One of the cops pulled out a video, so they had that confession on videotape, which is really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And you can see that on the tube of the U.
Later in the detectives' discoveries, they were told by friends of his that he often talked of having visions of burning people. He also told those people he enjoyed these visions. It's kind of weird that way.
It's a little weird. I think I might not be friends with him anymore if he said that to me. But also, what are you going to do? You can't go to the cops and just say, my friend keeps saying he
wants to burn people.
Visions of burning people. Well, they're not going to do shit about that. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So
Because he was a great guy, apparently.
Other than that, everybody knew him as a great guy. In May of 2017, in a small courtroom with Heather's family present, Brenton took a plea deal and pled guilty to second-degree murder and felony firearms charge.
After he proudly states that he is not sorry for what he did. Heather's sister is talking and getting a bit fired up by this guy.
Oh, she's getting feisty.
She turns to go for him, and the bailiff swipes her up and removes her from the courtroom.
Yeah, the bailiff.
Usually somebody that
bailiff
does that
could-
in court gets thrown in jail for a while.
Yeah, they get contempt of court. But
Yep.
this is, again, a small town.
Yep.
The judge probably knew her, and she really didn't get close to the guy. The bailiff saw it coming. Like, you can see him he instantly, the minute she turns, he knows she's going for him because she's getting worked
my
up. She's
God.
pissed. She's pulling a Mary, man.
Yeah.
She's going after him,
And
scrappy style.
The judge never charged her for disrupting the court.
Isn't that cool as fuck?
It really is.
She had to leave the courtroom, but,
Yeah.
I mean, geez. At his sentencing in June of 2017, he was nailed with 40 to 7 years for the murder of Heather and 2 years for the firearms charge.
Once the sentence was handed down, he was allowed to address the court, and the judge inadvertently also let the people of the courtroom hear what he was saying, which included Heather's family. Here's the clip of him addressing the judge. Also, the look on the judge's face is priceless. It's just...
He just has stone
just
cold
crazy.
amazement. It's almost like a deadpan amazement.
Like,
look.
what the...
I can't
real?
believe this shit is coming out of your mouth right now. This is what he says. This is part of what he says in the courtroom to the family and to the judge.
I'm by no means sorry about what I did. Okay. I learned a lot about myself, something that I tried to get others to try and figure out, and they chose not to.
Did you hear that?
I'm by no means sorry about what I did.
So was
Not
he-
at all sorry.
Not at all sorry.
Very proud of himself. There was more to that.
There was
that
a
was
lot more, but I'm
very
not giving
disturbing.
him the time of day. I'm wondering if he said something I tried to get others to figure out. I wonder if that was
yeah, he's
his
trying to
visions of burning people.
explain to people, this is what you got to do. You got to kill these. And I don't want to use his terms or anything like
No.
that. It was very disturbing.
Very berating to women. Brenton, the cowboy Brent Walker, literally was smirking and laughing while Heather's family were giving their statements. And it was disgusting. I wanted to fucking punch his ass right through the TV screen.
He currently resides and lives off our tax money
Our motherfucking tax money.
at the Richard A. Handlin
He gets
Correctional
3
Facility
meals a day.
in Ionia.
And he gets his teeth fixed anytime
Oh,
he
sure.
wants. While we're
Yeah.
out here working our asses off.
Earliest release date is 2063. That's a ways off.
I hopefully will be dead because I feel like this is one of those guys that I would go after.
I am pretty sure he won't make it through that.
He better not make it through that.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty old, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's going to kick the bucket and croak. Hopefully, because I am sorry, it is not okay to just murder a person and then blame her for the murder. That's
Right.
so,
Isn't that the way it always goes, though?
Oh,
it's
this
never their fault.
world.
You know, it's
You
someone else's fault.
guys, Why?
Do we have a happy
And,
ending?
Okay, after 4 marriages, and I'm speaking from experience, after 3 marriages, you have to look at
Oh,
yourself.
that's a lot.
You have to look inward for a minute.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, actually, mine was after 2 marriages. This is the 3rd. So after 2 marriages,
Oh, man.
you have to look inside yourself and realize this could be me.
Yeah.
He never did that, apparently. He's just like, I'm fucking fine.
Yeah, you could blow a nut at any minute and kill me if I start complaining about things. I'm keeping
All
my
right.
mouth shut.
We need a goddamn happy ending, Boo. Who do we have?
We do. We have a really cool Michigan band. Of course, it's a Michigan band, and they're called
That's a big surprise.
Michigan Dogman.
They're an alt-rock band out of Canton and Plymouth, Michigan. Here we go.
It's a nice area.
There's a sign on my mind saying do not enter. I would open up if I knew how. I would yell, I would scream, I would hang from the trees. I do all of these things, but I've got bad knees. You'll find me in the dark somewhere, and we can go anywhere but here. We can try, we can fight, you can stay through the night. On the floor, we'll start a war, and we'll make it out alive this time. This time. This time. This time. I'm gonna wake up early and stay up late. I will try my best not to waste the day. I got tired of running, I got tired of hiding, and I'm tired of being scared. You'll find me in the dark somewhere, and we can go anywhere but here. We can try, we can fight, you can stay through the night. On the floor, we'll start a war, and we'll make it out alive this time. This time. This time. This time. There's a sign on my mind saying do not enter. I will tear it off for you now.
Thank you for choosing Michigan Murders and Music. Please rate the show wherever you listen. Michigan Murders and Music is produced by The Boots. Episodes are researched and written by Your Highness. Edited by Your Highness. Views and opinions are the sole stupidity of us and us alone. Don't blame others, please. Listening to this podcast could quite possibly cause major problems to your earballs and definitely will mess up your kids. Permission has been given to us by the bands, and we purchase our music on bandcamp.com. Support your local music scene and all local music scenes.